Okay, today's Tuesday, February 9th, and we're still talking about fractions, probably our last day to talk about fractions, okay? So today should be pretty easy. It shouldn't be super complicated today. If you still have questions or you're not sure of something, please make sure you ask for help today because we will be moving on tomorrow, okay? That doesn't mean we won't ever work on fractions again, but just know today's the last lesson on it. Okay? So number 1 says, look at these fraction models. Use fractions to write a number sentence that compares the shaded parts of the two models. Okay? What they mean by number sentence is you're just writing it with a greater than, less than symbol. Okay? So what's shaded over here? 3/4. Oh, I slipped out my pen. 3/4. And over here is 1/4. We can tell which one's greater just by looking at the shaded part. So this one was pretty easy. The mouse should be open towards 3/4. Okay? And also remember, when the denominators are the same, all you have to do is look at the numerators. 3 is more than 1. Okay. Number 2, shade these models to show 1/4 and 1/3. So if you shaded these, it would already look like this. I've already shaded mine. So what number sentence should we put? What should I start with? Bryson? 1/4. Okay, so you think our symbol should be going open towards 1/4. Nope, not 1/4. If you look at 1/4, does that piece look smaller, Bryson? Or bigger? It looks smaller. So your mouth should be open towards 1/3. Yes, okay. What if the shaded parts, it's hard for me to tell. What can I do? Cross multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 1 is 4. This number is bigger, so that means the fraction that on this side is going to be bigger. Okay, so that's just our little backup trick if we can't tell. Cross multiply. Okay, number 3. Mrs. Moore used red paper to cover 3/8 of her bulletin board. She uses blue paper to cover 5/8 of her bulletin board. Which color of paper covers the largest area of the bulletin board? Okay, so we're comparing 3/8 and 5/8. And then the question asks for which color. Let's underline that. Which color covers the largest area? So we also, that's important too. We don't want the smallest. We want the largest. Okay? So they give us a bunch of room down here before we write our answer to show our work. So here's 3/8, 5/8. There's a couple different things we could do. I could draw models. So you guys want to draw a circle or rectangles?
Rectangle.
Okay, so like a fraction strip. So whatever you do, you have to make sure the holes are the same size. You can't have one hole being longer than the other. And if you drew circles, you can't have one circle that's fatter than the other. Your holes have to be equal. So we just draw straight down from the one on top. So now I have 2 fraction strips. And I need to cut it into how many pieces, Bryson? Eight total pieces. So what I like to do first is cut it right down the middle. We could do it on both. Okay, and then you're going to cut the sides down the middle. So go on this half, you're going to cut it in half again. Same thing over here, cut it in half again. That's only 4 pieces, so now we still need to cut them in half. So you're going to cut this section in half. Just go straight down, that way your pieces match. Same thing, you're going to cut this in half. Keep cutting it in half. So draw another line to cut this in half. And then in half again. We should have 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now the top one we can shade 3. 1, 2, 3. The bottom we can shade 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one's greater? Which fraction?
5, 8. No, 5, 8.
5/8 is greater. But it also says to use words. More is shaded for 5/8, so it's greater. Trying to keep it simple. Okay, now once you have that written, we need to make sure we're actually answering the question. The question said, which color of paper covers the largest area of the bulletin board? Have we answered that question? No. We figured out which fraction is greater, but which color would that be?
Red. Blue. Red. Blue.
Go back and read.
Blue. It's blue. Blue. 3/8 is red.
Okay. Now what is our answer?
Blue.
Blue. Good. Because she uses blue paper to cover 5/8 of her bulletin board. So blue is the correct answer. Don't do all that work and get it correct and do everything right and then go up here and put red. Okay? Make sure you're answering the question that it asks you. Okay? Number 4. Shade this model so that less than 4/6 of the triangles are shaded. Okay? Less than 4/6, we need to circle that. What could we shade? What's less than 4/6? Allie?
2/6.
2/6. What else? 3/6
1/6.
and 1/6. Okay? So we can pick any of them.
1/6.
1/6. Okay, we'll shade 1.
2/6.
The fraction we would put is 1/6. Part 2 says, what is another fraction with a denominator of 6 that is less than 4/6?
5/6.
2/6 or 3/6. Okay? Number 5. Alright, I want you guys to try this one on your own. I'm going to come around the room and be watching, seeing what you're doing. Make sure that you are answering the question. Draw models to represent these two fractions, and then write a number sentence. Okay? See what you got. That's okay. If you're not done, you can still keep working. But I'm going to go ahead and draw the models for 2/6 and 2/3.
You can draw circles.
Now, is it important that my circles are the same size?
Yes.
Yes. So when you draw your pictures, you really have to try hard to make your models equal. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to throw you off. You're not going to truly be able to tell which one's bigger. Okay? So for 6, you cut it down the middle, and then you do an X. Okay? For thirds, you do the peace sign, stopping at the middle and then go out. Okay? So if I'm going to do 2, 6, I need to shade in 2 pieces and 2 thirds. Can I tell which one's greater?
Yes.
Which one? 2 thirds is bigger just by looking at the model. You also could do your backup strategy, which is 2 6, 2 thirds, and we cross multiply. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. 12 is bigger, so 2 thirds is bigger. So we were right. So now we need to make sure we put the symbol in correctly. The mouth always eats the what? Bigger one. 2 thirds was bigger, so we want the mouth open towards 2 thirds. So we would read this as 2 6 is less than 2 thirds. Good. Okay, let's do a few more together. That front page is usually the easiest page, so we need to do a few more of the hard ones together before I send you off. Okay, number 1. All right, Kelsey, you can read.
Miss Bradshaw measured the heights of her 2 sons, Ray and Ed. She was surprised to see that Ray had grown 7/8 inch and that Ed had grown 5/8 inch in 3 months. Which number sentence correctly compares how much the boys had grown?
Okay, so we're just comparing those fractions, 7/8 and 5/8. So there's 2 things we can do. The denominators are the same, so what can I look at?
The numerator.
The numerator. 7 and 5. So which one's bigger?
7.
7. I also can tell by looking at the number line. This one is further, so it must be bigger, right? This one's closer to 1, so it has to be bigger. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. 7/8 is greater. So is A correct?
No.
No. B?
No.
C?
No.
No. And
Yes.
D?
Yes.
Yes.
7/8 is greater than 5/8.
Okay. Number 2. Mrs. Jefferson uses 3/4 cup brown sugar when she makes chocolate chip cookies. She uses 3/8 cup of brown sugar when she makes snickerdoodles. The model shows that. So here's my model. What's shaded over here? What fraction?
3/4.
You gotta look at your paper because it's kind of hard to see on mine.
3/4.
It's shaded to 3/4. Okay, and then over here it stops at 3/8. Which one has more?
3/4.
3/4. 3/4. Come on. 3/4 is bigger, right? Because it has more in the cup. Okay, so now we need to find the answer that matches what we said. Does F match what we said? No. G, 3/8 is greater?
No.
No. H, 3/4 is greater? Yes. Okay, here's the ones that get us. The not true. Which ones are not true? Number 3, Russell compared fractions using the symbols greater than, less than, and equal. All his statements are correct except one. Which statement is not true? Okay, so let's look at each one and figure out what we can do. 3/8 is equal to 3/4.
No,
How do you know?
because it's not equal.
How do you know it's not equal?
Because the bottom is different.
Okay, good. The numerators are the same, so that means the denominators would have to be the same, and they're not.
Let's see.
Okay, B, 3/4 is greater than 2/4. Oh, but hold on, guys. We want to pick the one that's not true. So is this true or not true?
Not true.
Not true. So we're going to put NT. Here, 3/4 is greater than 2/4. Is that true?
True.
Okay. C, Bryson, 2/6 is, how do I read that?
Greater than.
1/6. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes. So we put T. And the last one, 1/3 is less than 1/2.
Yes.
How do you know, Kaylee? That 1/3 is less. Bigger denominator, smaller pieces. When the numerators are the same, you can look at the denominators. Bigger denominator means smaller pieces. You could also cross multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. So this one's greater. So this is true. What's the one that's not true? A. See, I almost did the mistake that we always do. I eliminated it thinking, oh, this is wrong, but that's the one we wanted, right? So it helps to label with the NT and the T when you're looking for true and not true. And go through all the answer choices. Don't stop at the first one, okay?
Can I read it? Can I read this one? And then just go through the ones that are true and X them out. And then go back and see which one's not true.
Good. No, we're not gonna read through all of it. I'm just gonna read it so we can get this going quicker, okay? Number 4, the hotel chef studied the breakfast buffet to determine which flavor of muffin the customers like best. She compared the fractions of the muffins eaten as shown in this figure. Based on the fraction models, which conclusion could the chef make about the muffins eaten? Okay, so if it's white, what does that mean? It's empty because it's been eaten. So over here for the blueberry, I have 2, 4, 6 out of 8 that have been eaten. For the cranberry, I have 4 out of 8 that have been eaten. Okay? So what does that tell me about the muffins that people like? Which one do they like better?
Blueberry.
Blueberry. They like the blueberry better, and that's obvious because more have been eaten. So I'm just making a little note to myself that blueberry is better. The customers like blueberry better. Okay? Now I'm going to start reading my answer choices. More customers preferred cranberry muffins because 4/8 is greater than 6/8. Is that true? Is 4/8 greater than 6/8?
No.
No. G. An equal number of customers like blueberry muffins and cranberry muffins because 2/8 is equal to 4/8.
No.
No.
That's not true.
These are not equal. 2 and 4 are not equal. More customers preferred blueberry muffins because 6/8 is greater than 4/8.
True. Yes. No. True.
Is 6/8 greater than 4/8?
Yes.
Okay, so that part's true. Do you think more customers preferred the blueberry muffins?
Yes.
Yeah, we wrote that up here. Blueberry's better. So far, this one looks good. Fewer customers preferred blueberry muffins because 6/8 is less than 4/8.
No.
No.
And
So H is correct. Okay, so sometimes labeling your model first before you start reading the answer choices is going to help you, okay? Last one. Mrs. Jones displayed this fraction chart on her classroom wall. Which of the following number sentences is not true? So again, we're going to label T and NT. 1/2 is greater than 1/4.
No.
How could we prove that using the fraction strips? Bryson?
Prove that because if you go from very top straight down, it's not equal.
Okay, so here's 1/2. I go straight down. Does it match up with 1/4?
Yes. No.
It matches up with 2/4, but not 1/4. Here's 1/4. So is 1/2 greater? Is this a bigger piece than this one?
Yes.
Yes. So this is T or NT? T. Good. Evangeline, can you sit up, please? Not nap time. B. 1/4 is less than 1/3.
No.
Okay, let's see. Here's 1/4. Here's 1/3. If I shade those in, which one looks bigger?
1/3.
1/3, right? Because it stops here. So 1/3 is greater. So this one should be labeled T or NT? T. Okay. 1/3 is less than 1/2. Well, here's 1/3. We just shaded it. Here's 1/2. So is that true? 1/3 is less?
Yes.
Yes, that piece is smaller. So 1/3 is less than 1/2.
That leaves us with
1/4 is greater than 1/2?
Yes. No. Wait.
No, because here's 1/4. That piece is smaller than 1/2 piece. Because this was 1/2. This is 1/4. 1/4 is not greater than 1/2. So D is the correct answer. Okay, guys. Now what you're going to do, y'all can go ahead and tear those two pieces apart. I'm only going to look at the page that you need to complete. You have, again, 5 on this side and 5 on the other side. That's 10 problems. So for every one you miss, that's 10 points off your grade. So take your time, label, put T or NT, use your strategies, okay?